Hello everyone and welcome to another ESL Go4 Europe Cup. This is number 85 and unlike all the previous ones, this one is actually on PC. So this is my pole lap, but there's a bit more to qualifying than meets the eye. So you can see Mangator ahead of me. Mangator is he's the big winner on PC at the moment. He's won the most ESLs, but I'm here to spoil the party a little bit. Now the reason I'm on the PC is because the multiclass, of course, has come to PC, as I said at the last on the last multiclass video. So I thought, just to get myself in tune with how the ESL Go4 works on PC, I'd try this week. So here we are at LMP. I really do like the LMPs. I'm at Nürburgring, which is one of my favourite tracks. The GP track, I'm not a fan of the Nordschleife so much, but GP I am a bit of a fan of. So you can see my first sector there, 33.1. Now my best is a 32.8, so I'm 3 attempts down on my absolute best. Now 32.8 is solid to nail. I have done it a couple of times, but that's it. 33.1, pretty good. You want to be 0.0, 32.9 really, but we keep plodding on. So coming up to the end of sector 2 now, 34.3. That's a pretty solid time there. 0.2 is what you're after. I got 0.1 in the race, but more on that in a little bit. And we've got the final sector coming up. So as I say, I've come over to PC just to get used to this, because obviously the multiclass is on here. I'm going to be a challenger this time, so I'm going to have to do the Go4s because I'm not in pro. Big gutted I'm not in pro, of course, especially when you see what's going to happen in this race. As you might guess from the description, if you've read the description of the video, this is an absolute cracker. So there we go. There's my fastest lap. That's a 1:44.239. So coming to the end of qualifying now, I'm on my last lap. I had to back off on Mangators a bit because I caught him up a bit too much. I'm going for an even faster lap here, and it was going to be an even faster lap. In fact, it was going to be my record lap that I'll have done at Nürburgring in the LMP2 car. So I'm going to push hard as we come into this bit. It's very difficult, the Nürburgring. You've got to be patient in quite a lot of the corners, which sort of suits my driving style a little bit more. But we continue on to the end of the first sector. And at the end of this first sector, we get a 0.0, which is what I sort of was mentioned earlier. 32.9 would have been even better, but even so, this lap gets even better as we carry on through. So you can see we're already over a tenth above my previous fastest lap. And I know Mangator's on a pretty quick one as well, because the time difference, the gap between us, isn't increasing, decreasing a lot, and I'm on a fast lap. So I've got to be careful. I continue on out the hairpin. I seem to get that hairpin right quite often, which is quite nice to have. I always like corners where I get really used to them, and I get good at them as well. So as we come up here, 34.2, that is bang on what you want for that sector. So I did nail that sector really well. So coming through this right hand, this one's difficult because you don't want to run too wide because the gravel. I just clipped the gravel a little bit there, cost me a little bit of time. Just under 2 attempts up on my best lap. So I'm going to just do a bonsai at the chicane here. I really want this record lap. I want a 1:43. You can see my potential, but I just cut it a bit too much and I go a bit too slow into there. So unfortunately I don't get it. Is Mangator going to beat me? That is the question as we come round the last corner. Does he beat me? Does he beat me? No, he doesn't, but wait till you see how close it is. Yes, that's right. It's 6 thousandths between us, and we're over a second to the field. So Okaraka is a pro in the next season as well. I'm not sure whether Sharf is for TX3. TX3 are in there, so I'm not sure whether he is going to be a pro as well. But what a race we've got coming up for you now between me and Mangator. It is going to be a duel between us two, and it's a duel I always wanted in the multiclass. I always wanted this race in the multiclass, but bad luck and other things never happened. But you're about to get it here. So I'll talk through the first lap. This is sort of the highlights of it a little bit as well, because the full race is 25 minutes long. Mangator gets a cracking start there. I'll tell you now, Mangator said after the race that he risked everything to get ahead there. He nearly jump started the race. And Mangator is a top quality guy as well. So I'll be supporting him in the Pro Series. While I'm racing, of course, as well as a challenger. So I just Mangator just breaks away there from me. I'm just trying to defend my position a little bit here, make sure I keep the second place, because I know I can push to Mangator. I know I'm quick here, as we saw in qualifying. The guy behind me, Sharf, just gets a shortcut penalty, and Okaraka's behind me. Let's continue on now. I've got to try and catch Mangator. The nice thing on PC, dirty air doesn't affect you as much as on the PlayStation 4, so you can run a little bit closer. Dirty air still affects you in some of the corners. That corner, it affects you. The end of sector 1, the right hander, that affects you, and also the fast right onto the back straight, that affects you big time. So you've still got places where it affects you, but it's just not as much, so it's nice to get closer racing. So hopefully there's something to see in the multi-class when it comes up. Fortunately, as I say, I'm not in there. I wish I was, especially after this race, because it was awesome. Wait till you see what's going to happen in this race. That's all I can say. But as you can imagine, me and Mangators are going to start putting in quali lap after quali lap, and as we're fighting as well, it's going to be unbelievable. Okaraka, the rest of the field, just fly back. They're over a second lap slower than us too, as we absolutely annihilate this track. As I say, you can hear it in my voice, I'm excited about this. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to leave you with this race, and I'll talk to you after the race. As I say, it's highlights, so some of the laps are cut out a little bit where there's gaps and things like that, because we are doing quali laps. But enjoy. Wow, what a race, that's all I can say. And you saw me at the chicane there at the end. I went for something like a kamikaze move. It was do or die sort of thing at the end, but I just got a bit too much oversteer, so I couldn't do much about it. Earlier in the lap at the start of sector 3, I'll put the clip on now, where I was sort of in the middle of the road. My head said stay to the right, my heart said stay in the middle, try and look to see if you could put him off. Unfortunately, it backfired for me a little bit, lost a couple of attempts. But even so, what a race. Honestly, that was one of my favourite races on Project Cars. I've had cracking ones with Boxer on PS4, but this is one I really wanted in the multiclass, and I finally got it. So you can see the lap times there. 1:44.2 for both me and Mangator. Everyone else is in the 45s, so I've got some serious pace there still in the LMP on PC this time. But that's it for now. There's a playlist there of other Go4s, but from me and this race... just before I go, actually, the semi-final was just as close with me and Mangator yeah, I couldn't show everything, so you got the final. But as I say, that's it from me for now, and I'll catch up with you all again very soon.